Hello and welcome to this episode of Common Sense View. My name is Michael and it's my pleasure to have you here. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, I'll be glad if you subscribe, at least like if you are not sure of what you're getting at the moment. It's obvious that the world has groomed itself in the act of turning the other way. I took my time today to look through pictures of what is going on in Ukraine, Gaza, and some part of Lebanon. It's appalling. It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. I start with Ukraine. This war has gone on for the past 3 years. Until now, I don't know. I heard that Trump said a lot that he will take care of it. I hope he does. The entire West could only muster the ability to outcast Russia, but not ask for peace. If it's not your child that is dying, of course your money can go. Who cares? But we forget that there are human beings that are carrying those guns, getting shot at every moment of the day. There is human beings that have their livelihood destroyed by every single drone or missile that falls on their roof. It is men, women, children that have their hands blown off, that have their hospital decimated, that have their road completely cut off from reality. Yeah, our dollar can do a lot. Our dollar can be there giving them more ammunition to get themselves killed. I read that there was a peace deal on the table, and Boris Johnson and the US got that deal thrown away. To what end? What was the reason to this carnage that is left behind? If there is peace today, if there is understanding today and the war stops today, the war ends today, who lost? Who won? Of course, not the West in general. The losers and the winners are mostly the Ukrainians. Majority of them have been displaced, and another majority are dead. The scars of war can never leave that country again. We think in our arrogance that is enough to give them money to sponsor them. They need $60 billion we give to them. They need $100 million, billion dollars you give to them. They need this ammunition, you procure them. NATO especially. A military alliance that has become road to death. When one country cries, the other ones join and cry, irrespective of why they are crying. An attack in one is an attack in all. The same machine that killed Gaddafi, the same one machine that supported US in Iraq, Afghanistan. When will this come to an end? Must there be war? Can't there be a way to settle this before the first bullet is shot? Yeah, Putin is a madman, understood. But who is mad now? If you're running after a madman naked, what people see are two madmen running. You may convince yourself that a madman is chasing after you, but the bystanders still see madmen running. Putin was mad. Wouldn't it have there been a more diplomatic way to avoid the number of people that have died within this period? The mindset was to bleed Russia out. But apparently it has not worked. Both their GDP and their gross income and expenditure all are going up. Expenditure now. They have more markets to sell to. All the buildings left there by the multinational corporations, McDonald's, companies from Sweden, companies from all over the world, what did they do? They turned them into their own private earnings. It becomes spoils of war. Who is losing? The people who are losing are majority the Ukrainians. And sometimes few Russians who are at the border who got killed. But of course, I don't think their own matters much, especially to the West. But let me ask, whose life matters most and whose life matters less? Aren't the Russians dying worth living? Or will you convince me that the Ukrainians dying deserve their killing? Can't the dying stop? Go to Gaza. No human being who is sane enough will support what Hamas did in that October 7th. But anyone who supports the kind of dying that is going on there is a brute. I have no horse in this race. I have no horse in this race. I have no horse in this race. The pressure campaign mounted on the West about stopping the fight. If this would have been mounted both ways, both on Hamas and stopping the fight, I think by now it would have been over. But because we took sides, I said this the first day this happened, because we took sides, the blame is only on Israel, who I believe should receive the majority of the blame. But people of Palestine, especially Hamas, should be blamed equally, but not the innocent ones who are dying on the roadside bombs, who are being crushed, decimated, crying, going hungry every single day with no hope of eating the next meal. There's no man, there's no woman who is alive, who sees what is going on in that country or in that neighborhood and condones it that deserve to have one single air extra. The West has become too arrogant that if the death is not happening around us, it looks like it's nothing. When you wake up in the morning, have kids, and you are not sure that you will even find water to give to them. When you watch your kid, your baby, cry him or herself to super, with no hope of getting meal. When all you hear is the sound of guns, bombs, and war jets, what is life? An empty shell of nonsense. And unfortunately, both the war in Ukraine and the mayhem going on in Gaza would have been avoided. If there had been a pressure campaign mounted on Hamas outside the immediate killing, I don't think they would have lasted long before they released the prisoners. And then they could be treated squarely for the people they killed unjustifiably. When an eye is for an eye, everyone goes blind. And trust me, with what is going on in these two locations, the world has really not just gone blind, but they've gone crazy. The more we sponsor these wars, we put our imprimatur on the dying. A little girl of 11 has her leg blown off. All she could cry was, "I need my legs back. I need my legs back." Imagine if that is your daughter. Imagine if that is your daughter. No amount of money we give to these two locations, two areas, to help them fight or not fight, will clean our souls for the atrocities we have all committed. My taxpayers' money is in it. And whoever country that is doing this, instead of going for peace, finding the most effective way to get peace, will resort to the shortcut of funding. Both on Israel side, on a Russia-Ukraine side. The people of Palestine, those people dying for nothing they did. Yeah. Yeah, it's called collateral damage. It's collateral damage when those of your family members are not the ones dying. I don't wish even my enemy this. But those who are in charge, who have the power to stop this, claim that they have done everything possible to get these people on the table. It doesn't seem to be true. It's not true. When you watch the people from the US talking about how Ukraine will be rebuilt, you ask yourself, is this what it's all about? Is this an investment for the military industrial companies of all the countries around? Is it what it is? It's not statistics, not just numbers. There are human beings behind these numbers. Put yourself in the position of men, mothers and fathers in these countries. When you wake up, you realize that you can't feed your family because there's nothing left. You can't even look anyone in the eyes because there's no courage left. Not because you lack courage specifically, but because every courage has been stripped. Because there's nothing there to fight and nothing to fight for anymore. The despair that will follow the end of this war, if it ever ends, and I mean both wars, the even-handed, both from Russia, Israel. I said this about Zelensky. Whether he's a good man or not, I really don't know. It's not my business to know. But the fact that he didn't choose the way of peace and the West muzzled Putin into negotiating for peace, rather, he succumbed to that demand not to sign the one that was on the table. There's no deal that is too perfect that it cannot be remade. If that deal was signed, we can take time. At least you have a leverage. You can take time to ask for more. Pressure campaign. Rather, the campaign to go to war blinded the mindset that people who will fight this war are none of those in the elite class. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I couldn't take my eyes off the mayhem in Gaza. My heart was wrecked. Literally wrecked. And I wasn't even living there the time I was looking at the pictures. I'm not living there. If my pain, which I still feel now, is this deep, imagine the pain, the hatred this is creating in the heart of the people who are living there. How many more enemies are created? The worst person to fight is a person who has nothing to lose. Every one of us do have something to do, but when you push people into the position that they say, I have nothing to lose, then there is a bigger problem. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this message and subscribe for more.